My attitude was angry, mean, upset, anything that's like not good, I guess, or just hatred of everything.
Started pursuing girls and money and drugs. By the time I was 16, I was doing drugs every day. I was smoking, I was popping pills and snorting cocaine on a regular basis. It was just my regular life. I started doing really bad in school. My parents noticed that I wasn't coming home, like weekends and stuff. I would just stay out the entire weekend. Started getting a lot of trouble with my parents. They started threatening to send me away, but I never thought they would. My life was completely empty. I didn't have any joy in it. All I was doing is pursuing drugs.
And I was just doing drugs every day, stealing. Cops were constantly knocking on my door.
Teen Challenge works with troubled boys who come from a variety of different backgrounds. They're boys with anger issues, they might be oppositional defiant, they might have drug and alcohol problems. Sometimes they've been involved in delinquency and they're in trouble with the law. And we provide faith-based, Christ-centered intervention that is powerful beyond normal counseling. I mean, God is able to transform lives in a way that traditional counseling cannot. And often as these boys receive Christ, as they get to know God personally, we see that transformation take place. That's what really brings the difference in their lives.
Teen Challenge Ranch is just the different backgrounds that kids come from. You know, we have kids that come from all across the U.S. and they come in and, some of them have been abused, some of them have been through divorce, their parents have, and they grow up in that rejection. We have kids that have been adopted and kids that are deep in drug abuse because they don't know how to deal with life.
The guys that we get here come from a lot of different backgrounds. They sometimes come from very affluent families, sometimes they come from families in poverty, sometimes they are drug addicts, sometimes they've experimented with drugs, sometimes they are just in defiance with their family, they're in delinquency, they're in trouble with the law. We have all kinds of different guys, but all of them have a need, all of them are troubled, all of them have some area in their life that they need healing from, and that's what we provide.
And one of the neatest things to see is to see them come in and be, defiant and oppositional and not wanting anything to do with God and not wanting anything to do with Teen Challenge staff.
When I first got to Teen Challenge, I hated everybody there. Everyone seemed so happy and they didn't have drugs. I didn't understand how they could be so happy.
I was angry and I was mean to them, cussing at them, rude, like just really mean. And they would just love on me and do kind things for me constantly. I would say something horribly rude and they would just bless me and tell me that it's okay, and that I could do better, and just like always uplifting. And it just like started to sink in, and I wanted to know why they were like that.
It's nothing less than supernatural. God is able to transform the heart and the attitude and the mind in a way that no one else can. And that's really what we're about. We are truly a Christian, Christ-centered program.
When I started really believing in God, I thought I was a Christian. I thought, oh, I believe God's real now, I'm saved. But my life didn't change. I didn't change the way I acted. Finally, through going to chapels and learning about Jesus from all the staff here and the happiness and the way they lived, I started changing the way I lived. I started actually giving my life to God. I was never happy before, unless I was high. And now, I'm happy pretty much all the time. If I have a bad day, at the end of the day, I'm thankful. I'm thankful I could have today not on drugs. I could have today living for God.
I was just standing there, like worshiping God, and I'm like, I could have this feeling of being close to God. I feel like He is right beside me forever, for the rest of my life.
If you have Jesus in this world, you have everything. You can have all the money and drugs and girls and sex that you want in this world, but you still have nothing. If you have Jesus and you're the poorest person on earth, all your family dies, everything goes wrong. If Once you have Jesus, you have everything. My relationship with my parents has gotten 100 times better. When I first came in, I had no relationship with them at all. We didn't communicate well. I hated them, felt like they hated me. They really loved me all the time, but I couldn't feel that. After they sent me here, I didn't forgive them for a while. I thought they just ruined my life, but really they were saving my life.
I thought that I hated her, and now I know that she did it for me. Like, she loves me, that's why she put me here. We can communicate, we get along, we don't fight when we're around each other. It's just completely different.
The boys continue their education here at Teen Challenge Ranch in Northwest Arkansas. We have a private Christian school, and we offer fully accredited classes. We have individual tutoring for boys that are behind in certain areas, things that they don't know, if they have trouble in math or they have trouble in English. We provide tutoring to help them catch up. We offer a GED program as well for students who maybe need to pursue, maybe they've been out of high school so much, but maybe they need to pursue GED instead of getting accredited classes and transfer back somewhere. Several of our students get their high school diplomas here, and several get GEDs each year. The most amazing thing about Teen Challenge is our Christ-centered focus. Even though we offer all the traditional therapies and even some of the non-traditional therapies like equine therapy and adventure-based learning, we provide opportunities for rappelling and hiking, canoeing and fishing. We are regularly out taking advantage of the national forests here in Arkansas. We've done extensive trips even into the Rocky Mountains or in different parts of the country. They're challenged when they're hiking and when they're rappelling to take on new activities, to learn how to enjoy themselves without having to use drugs or to get in trouble. Shine this passion for Christ and this love for God and this love for them. And the young men begin to open up their hearts to the staff, and after they open up their hearts to the staff, they go into chapel and they open up their hearts to God. And that's when the amazing things take place. I've seen the difference in kids' lives. I've been here for over 18 years, and I've seen God transform kids and their families and just do an amazing work of healing.
Now we have 28 students, and if you walk around campus and you get to go in the different parts of the program, you can see that we're just cramped and that we don't have room to do a lot of the things that are necessary to help these guys, overcome their situations. In our classroom, we have 21 desks, and it's always kind of a flip-flop trying to get students in there. We're lacking space to do group therapy and have different group sessions, and the new building would not only help our current students, but it would just be an opportunity to help so many more students in the future. We could expand the number of students we take in every year and just continue to see the change that God does in these guys when they come in.
We need a new chapel. We need a new kitchen and dining facility. We need counselor offices.
I think it goes back to that God's here, that there's a spirit here that brings healing, and we need a place that's worthy of that we need to build something that's worthy of what God's doing here on this ranch and on this property. And not only that, but because God's here, because this is such an amazing place, because there's such a strong presence of God, that we need to expand so that we can bring more people into that we can do that for more students. Right now we're at 28, but we have a vision for much, much bigger things.
We're helping bring healing to hurting families, and we're helping to rebuild futures. It's amazing to see what becomes of some of our students as they move forward in life, as they become these amazing men of God, as they have families themselves, and to see how their life is so much different than the way it was. This is an opportunity for friends, for businesses, for organizations to partner with us in helping us in our capital campaign, helping us in our Moving Forward campaign to raise the funds necessary to build the Full Life Center, so that we can improve what we're doing for our students currently, and we can also expand our services in the future and reach even more students with this life-changing message. The most amazing thing that happens here is when these young men come and they have an encounter with God, things change. See, God can change the heart, and when you can change the heart, you can change the attitude, and when you change the attitude, you can change the behavior.
life is so much better with Jesus, and I know that I have eternity to spend with Him.